I mean, legends talk for hours. I mean, it was a great season. It really captured Whitewater, and yeah, we thought we were done, but we're not. So let's kick off Survivor Wisconsin. I mean, it's really been starting to pick up the last two seasons again. If you're interested in playing, hit us up on Instagram, or if you know any of us, we're really trying to get some newbies for the next season or two. So let's kick off Survivor Wisconsin season one with Christian's.
I think this is all you need to see. This guy, first off, he comes in, he's dominating his tribe. Everyone loves him. This guy is dressing like a fucking gangster with this thing over his nose. I'm like, who? I'm like, gosh. I'm like, the worst part is this guy was actually using a filter. I mean, that guy pulled up to the season, looks at me, he's like, I'm hungover as shit, and then takes a pull of his cigarette, puts it in the dirt, walks to the back. First thing he does when he gets to his tribe, the first 10 minutes of the game, guys, after talking like random crap in the beginning, making people laugh, he goes, let's take a shot. Gets his entire tribe at 10 a.m. to take a shot of tequila. And then proceeds to snort his salt and put his limes in his eyes. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It didn't matter what happened the rest of the game. That is the most entertaining thing I've ever seen. The fact that, like, I was watching this from, like, a distance, watching the season back, and I'm sitting there and I'm, like, wanting to be, like, with Jacob the whole time, like, oh, I wish I could have made that move with Jacob. Oh, what would we have said? Like, I've never had it where, like, I wish I was playing and I've been like, oh, I would have told him this because he might have actually won. He might have done this, like, if I was there. Like, I have a feeling where I could be like, oh, like, I could have given this person advice, this or that. No, I literally had a genuine want through the screen to play with this guy. I mean, it was just hilarious, so I love him.
Yeah. Moving in, Richie, piggyback off
Same
of it.
thing. I picked Jacob. I mean, there were a lot of funny confessionals, you know, he had throughout the game. He was, I mean, like, literally, like what you were saying, Christian, he's like a fun player to be around, you know, like he was so fun to watch. Just the whole, like, tequila shot thing it was.
I mean, look at that picture. Look at that picture alone right there. Come on.
Exactly, yeah, like literally, it's iconic. It works with the backdrop that was picked for this season. And another reason I did pick him is probably kind of bullshitting a reason for this, but it was like potential as well. Like what I was saying before, like people, it's like if I ever hosted in the future, people I'd be interested in Jacob. Like he's entertainment factor. He's someone I do actually see potential in playing a great social game. Like, and he was playing a pretty decent game. He was doing great in challenges, and then doing
I'll
great
never play again if he's not on the season. Period. Like, that's
like
it.
Literally, Jacob is so much fun to watch on. It's like literally, he's like every like host's dream to have on, like someone who was like there to have fun time, you know. So like,
yeah,
Jacob, I want this guy's autograph.
Yeah, I just took a note down, but I agree. I mean, I was gonna have Jacob, and then I saw you guys put him, so I was like, I'm just gonna give someone else credit. I think Jacob was most entertaining. I mean, I'll put him at 2 for me for this season. He was hilarious. I'll never forget that flag football game. Are you kidding me? I mean,
dude, how the fuck did he pull that off with Cotton?
It was awesome, and he just got tribe swap screwed, and the reason he got out was because of my pick, actually Michael. I'll give Michael credit for this season.
He was definitely number 2 this season. He was
best he ever played, easily. I mean, he was hilarious, as always in interviews, created beef with a lot of people. The Jacob vote off was very impressive, where he, in case Dakota had an idol, he put one vote for Jacob that ultimately saved him, kept his alliance going. I'll still, like, don't even fully remember what happened, but, like, that first vote off in the merge that they got Idol Sam out with, like, no numbers was just crazy that he got people to vote with him that round. I mean, Michael's always hilarious. He always has been entertaining every time he plays. He's up there with most entertaining players. Yeah, him and Jacob are easily the most entertaining people this season. And I just want to give him his credit. And yeah, it'll be tough to get Michael to play again because he doesn't live around here right now. But I mean, he was freaking hilarious this season, and he did good.
Yeah, and I mean, give it credit where it's due. Those two were head and shoulders above everyone else, and the other people on the season were really good.
Yeah,
like Connor, Adam, Darius, Ness. Like those were all people that we've all mentioned already in this video.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep,
Michael was probably the third best entertainer on 7, but like this guy, like literally, I had never seen him play like that before. And honestly, he had a piece of me actually rooting for him that season.
Yep.
Like I'm hosting, and like deep down, I was like, I kind of want him to win because you could see like, he learned a lot from his past games, and it was kind of cool to see him kind of start playing better.
Yeah. I think Wisconsin one's a great season, especially for new people that are looking to play. I'd watch that one because the game's a little similar to that. Whitewater is better, but this was a good kickoff to our new era.
That
So
was a good party after too.
Yeah, so we're gonna dive into season 2, Cabin
Give me
Fever.
PTSD.
So Richie, kick it off.
Cabin Fever, my pick was Jasper. Even though he fucked me out of the game. No, like, legit though. It was like he had so many people, and like, if you want to talk, what?
Keep going. You said he fucked you out of the game, Richie. Easy. There's kids watching this.
Okay. Anyways, like, there were so many like funny moments. Like, if you want to go back and watch the little podcast me and Devin did, like, you can hear us talk about Jasper a little bit more as well. Like, Jasper was someone that, like, insanely entertaining, with how he was able to make certain moves happen, like, pull shit out of his ass almost and just make something happen. Like, the detective advantage play, I forgot what exactly it was called, but, like, where you got to view someone's vote, like, after they voted, and, like, Jasper uses this, threatens a girl, saying, like, well, I'm gonna use this, and then they like literally flip over. The whole idol chaos thing at Matt's elimination was just iconic to watch. Like, some funny moments, like walking away from Dakota over and over and over and over. I remember like when he did it, it was like close to the end. Dakota trying to talk to him, he just walks away from her, and she just like gives like a Jim Halpert look at the fucking camera, and I'm just laughing my ass off on the other end of the screen. I'm like, dear God.
Yeah, that was funny. Like the fact that he would just like walk away mid conversation, or the fact that it wasn't the best gameplay in the beginning.
No, gameplay was definitely not the best. But
the fact that he was like looking at them and just being like, "Yeah, like I'm gonna vote for you."
Yeah.
I feel like funny at the same time. I was like, "Wait, what did he just say?"
What did he say?
Part two is I feel like I mean, people can generally say I was a chaotic player in Whitewater, but the thing is, I feel like Jasper's almost like I don't want to compare him to like the Wisconsin version of me of how I was my first season, but it's like
not the Wisconsin version. You talk a million miles a minute. This guy might talk 1 word a minute.
But like Jasper was just so fun to watch because he caused pure chaos. Is what I was trying to say. Just a chaotic factor of like my first couple seasons, and then Jasper's season. But like Jasper,
he was really smart.
Where he gets the Arkham move out, and then everyone immediately figures out it was him, and it's just like.
He's almost trying to be Hunter. Like I could see like him trying to be Hunter, but then Jasper would show through a lot. Like Jasper I could see the moments where he's trying to do what Hunter does, and then who he lives with, so I could definitely see getting some tips and stuff. But then I'd see like moments of where like Jasper would show through, and that was what I really thought was entertaining. Like it was just like funny to watch.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, like I'd love to see Jasper back. Like Jasper would be so much fun to have back in a return. Honestly, like I mean, Devin, we're talking about this last time too, so I know Devin, this isn't like anything new to you, but it's like Jasper's someone who I do honestly think like should he come back, I think he could like play better and like maybe balance it out. But like, would it be more fun or more boring?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Jasper's someone that I wanted to give some credit to. So sorry.
Yeah. So I'll piggyback off that. I'll pick Jasper too. Was very cocky. He won a lot of challenges. Didn't have any strategy behind what he was doing really at all. The idol find he did, and then I'll just never forget how he used the vote view advantage to like just completely like just be an asshole to Dakota and them, being like, yeah, I mean, you're going to have to tell me, I'm going to find out who you're voting for. So, and they're like, what the hell? So, yeah, it was a very sloppy game. And yeah, if you watch that season, me and Richie did a podcast after every episode. And every episode, we're like, gosh, Jasper, he's entertaining as hell. And this is what this is. But he had a lot to work on. And he was an asshole to people. But it was hilarious. It was finally like a full on villain that we haven't had for a while, like our new era. And I was actually recently talking to Jasper, and he's like, yeah, man, I can't be like that often for the game I said. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it was entertaining to watch. It wasn't a great gameplay. Do it in the
confessionals.
I know that's literally what I told him. I said, doing the confessionals, you can still do it. Just like, got to be a little bit nicer up front to people. And like you said, Richie, I'd love to see him back. So we'll move on to what Christian's person was for this okay season.
So I picked Emma. Like I picked no one because like I was like, seriously, like this season, I was really upset with like people not. It was a lot of times I was looking at the screen, screaming like, "Don't just do this because it's exactly what the Dolphin Sam's gonna win." Like I could just see the whole game. Like I literally was getting frustrated watching the game. But the thing that I like, because I was searching so heavy, someone who consistently said some things and like described the game very well, but most importantly, like had a very meticulously thought out game. At the end, she had like one wrong choice, but throughout most of the time was social, and like you could see her planting seeds. Like I could pick out, hey, she's being strategic here, she's being strategic here, and like I said, strategy is very entertaining to me. I love watching it. And honestly, her being as entertaining and with a lot of people around her being so bland, it did kind of almost portray her and put her on a pedestal in terms of strategy and personify it, which kind of did help me, the next season. I'm not like in season 4, I'm not going to lie. Like just being able to like see what she did and how she kind of played the game. And I think it was just pretty interesting to watch her. And I actually got very fascinated by her game because it's not, like I said, she's very similar to Giselle. Like Giselle would be like the first evolution of her, but she was also like someone we really hadn't seen play like that before either.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it just sucked that so many people backed out last second. We had to do what we had to do. It was a cool, could have been a better season, but yeah, I mean, I think there's a few entertainment. Dolphin Sam was entertaining in ways. It was just so predictable, and it was just he was so above everybody playing.
It was Quitman 2.0.
I wish there would have been more people that were on the season that people could utilize, and like Dolphin Sam probably still would have won the season. Like he,
oh yeah,
he played really well, and I feel bad that like it does get a little diminished and it's not even his fault. Like it's not his fault. He was just so much better.
Yeah.
All
right, moving on to season 3 Summer Solstice that we did last summer. I'll kick it off. I did pick Corey. I mean, like I gotta give Corey finally my pick first season. I had him for like second or third for like every other time he played. Magnet titles and advantages. I mean, it's like you, Christian. Entertainment follows you guys anywhere you guys go. Hilarious interviews. Had a really strong alliance again. It was similar to when he played with Richie, and it made it very far. And I mean, at the end of the day, he did screw some people over at the final tribal council, which cost him the win. That if Allie doesn't out-talk him and outsmart him at that final tribal council, I mean, he probably would have won. And he didn't really have a lot to back up and kind of costed him the game. But gameplay aside, I mean, he's entertaining as fuck. I mean, he's hilarious. I love the beef between Nate and him in the beginning of the game and Alex just being straight with them.
Made no sense. Literally made no sense.
Made no sense. Didn't seem to affect it. Play the idol early. I mean, Corey's just entertaining as hell. And I know at the end of the day, he'll probably watch this. And I know he's salty that I had him ranked 8th Survivor Wisconsin player. Sorry. I mean, I think that's pretty fair still.
I think half of season 4 just had to be up there. Just such a good.
Yeah.
It's not even on him.
But yeah, that's what I had for Corey. I think he deserved it, and he was entertaining as hell to watch. I thought about Connor as well. I thought about Allie, but I ultimately chose Corey.
I also thought about Ryan. He was kind of a goofball and entertaining to watch, but I'm picking Allie. I mean, first off, she did go down. She literally was the first one out, and then came back in the game, said, "Screw everyone that just voted me out." First thing she did was get everyone to vote out Big Mike. Big Mike was playing a strong game, actually had footing in the game, and the ghost of the past came back and bit him in the ass. And it was hilarious to watch that. But then it just kept kind of going. As much as Corey was manipulating the game, she also was at the same time aligning and literally became best friends with everyone left in the game. Because everyone in the game, she realized, felt uncomfortable and felt like they were on the bottom. So they looked at her, who was technically the bottom because she had just gotten back in the game, and she worked her way literally all the way back up to the top. Even in Real Survivor, that is so rare to happen if someone comes back from redemption and ends up winning. And even then, Chris Underwood had to take off the necklace to do it, you know? And, that's just a way that I look at it, where she was on the redemption, and it was a little bit shorter of a redemption island. It was only in the very beginning. And she's really hot. She is my girlfriend, so I'm going to give her that.
Well,
so
obviously,
I was glad that we finally had a pretty girl play. But yeah, I mean, it was a good time, and I was really, really proud watching her because first off, I didn't really give her advice beforehand, but she was really, really she wanted to do really good, really badly. And when she went out, she was really pissed. I to this day haven't seen her that mad or sad or anything in between. And then she turned it around and won, and was honestly getting drunk the whole time. So it was just entertaining to watch her. I had my eyes on her the whole time, obviously. So there's that. But
all right, we'll close it off with Corey here. With Richie's pick.
Well, thanks for spoiling it, Devin.
I can edit it out. Relax, Richie.
Or Elton, sorry. But it's just funny. Keep it in. But no, the funny, I mean, kind of like it's Corey. Come on, like Corey was obviously going to be my pick for this. I actually did consider Liz and Allie. They were very close to making it on here, but like
you and Liz. You and Liz.
You really love Liz.
Liz actually reached out to me about that. She actually watched our beef about it. But
okay, tell me this later. Tell me this later.
Wait, beef about what? Beef about the whole.
Like how Richie had Liz like super high, and I like walked away. She texted me honored and humbled because I was kind of shitting on her game.
For Corey, the reason why I picked Corey, I mean, there's so many fun moments from this season. Like, I mean, I'm only going to talk about a couple of them. Just the main one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Corey and Nate rivalry just touched on already. I mean, it's just such a fun, like, early rivalry. And even though, like, yeah, I did kind of climax out, like, super early on, like, it was so fun to watch. Just them both go at it. Corey even tries to save him. Corey tries to save Nate, and then Nate just so like, no. You know what I mean? Like, and then the whole idol, seemed through the power shenanigans, just all of that was so funny to watch. And like Corey's just like sitting there trying to tell him what it is, and Ryan's just so like, it's. And I remember Christian, you were even looking at him, you're like, what is this? He's like, I don't know. And Corey's just like, tell him what it is. I remember sitting there in the moment. I'm like, dear God, Ryan. Like,
Ryan was like, also like
another guy you shit on, Richie. Come on.
Ryan was actually kind of good.
I think he had good moments. I'm just saying he's not good as like people like Connor or Liz or Allie or Corey or other people we talked about.
Yeah, he was
like, that's why I ranked. That's why I ranked them all above him.
Is he not Nathan 2.0? Nathan Volk a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Early stages.
I can kind of see
anything
that.
else. Anything else you want to add, Richie? Anything else?
I mean, Corey's like overall like story arc though, like where I remember doing multiple confessionals with him, where he's like, "I'm rising back up to the throne, rising to the throne." Like that is like something super entertaining to watch and see happen. Like it was so fun. So.
All right, in 1 second, we're gonna close it off finally with Evolution. All right. So now we're going to be ending our last season, our most recent one of our best ones ever. Go check it out, Survivor Wisconsin Season 4 Evolution. Let's kick it off with Christian's pick.
Yeah, sorry. I'm getting my flowers finally for the season. I've been deferring to Hunter for a lot of it. But you know what? I'm not liking a lot of disrespect that I got for this season. So I'm just getting into this. Sorry. First off, entertainment value. I was at every tribal council, except for like 2 of them.
From my tribal?
Literally.
Yeah,
literally was
only 2. Only 2 you missed.
Yeah.
I feel like I am getting very extremely underappreciated for not only surviving every round with the absolute ridiculous reputation and thing I had looming over my head every round, but also the dang fact that I voted for the right person every single round. That is because I was one facilitating it. Hunter made one really good move at the end of the game and honestly just bounced around a lot on his other tribe and was lucky that he was winning and he didn't have to deal with Maddie half the time. All right? Like, that's the honest truth. And I got to make my return as the gangsta. I got to go back to being, congrats, Hunter. You said that you're going to win at the end of the game. Everyone says they're going to win at the beginning of the game. Everyone says that. So good job. You called your shot. Congrats. I said it at the beginning of Legends. I said it at the beginning of this season, too. I didn't win. So I didn't count. But, like, that's my point. Like, congrats, man. Like, you deserved your win because you did what was needed for your jury. But, sorry, heard plenty of I love your game enough to know. To know the fact of the matter that, you know what, I want my respect for the season. Whether you want to choose me to win or not, I don't care. That was the jury's decision, and honestly, in the moment, I didn't defend it enough. But when it comes to my gameplay, I am not downing it at all. Because at the end of the day, every single person on the jury at every single point in the season said they were going to get me out, and they didn't. Even you, Hunter. So guess what? I'm going to take it. I'm taking my entertainment value. Because you did. Your number one goal in this game did not happen, getting me out. You tried. It didn't happen. And that was a lot of people's goals, and that's why they didn't. That's why they voted for you over me, because they were still salty, and they shouldn't be salty at me because you tried getting me out. But for some reason, they're salty at me for not letting them get me out. Whatever. I'm done. I had to come on and defend myself because I'm getting sick of this crap. I'm sorry. I'm the best player. Give me my goddamn respect. Sorry, I was.
Well, you're about to get your recognition right now. Yeah, I mean, flat out.
Thanks, Ricky,
like,
super fan.
Okay, literally, like, it was actually between you and Hunter, and it's just like.
And Hunter deserved to win. Like I said it from the
This is
beginning.
entertainment. This isn't who should have won. This is who was entertaining.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, between both of you guys had a lot of good moments, but it's like I feel like Christian ultimately kind of won out because you had some funny voting confessionals, some great voting confessionals too. And other fun confessionals like Godfather-esque confessionals, and then I feel like kind of like Aubrey Bracco in Survivor Quran, where people saw her as like the narrator for parts of the season.
Don't ever. Sorry to cut you off, Richie, but don't ever say Christian's name in the same sentence as Aubrey, please. Moving on.
That's a story I want to hear later now, but okay, whatever. So, I mean, I feel like he was a partial, like, narrator for, like, parts of Evolution. Not, like, all of Evolution, but I feel like there were definitely certain parts where, like, whether it was voting or just a regular confessional, it's like Christian's flat out, like, yeah, like, I'm the one that's telling how this story is going. I'm the one that's saying this is
you like
how
narrating,
eh?
Huh?
Like, oh, what?
You like narrators, huh?
I guess, like, I'm sorry that people kept telling me everything that was going on. It's not my fault.
Well, it's like we got to hear a lot of it more from your perspective. Like, some people got to talk from their perspective, but it's like your perspective, I feel like, kind of definitely had a high. And what I mean, obviously, a huge part of it was because your reputation from Legends. That was probably a huge thing that stuck out with a lot of people too. And it's one of the reasons why I flat out was like, I probably would have voted Christian. I told Hunter this, I think, once or twice before. And I like Christian, I probably would have got my vote most likely if I was on the jury in Evolution, just because in fact it's like, hey, like he was one of the biggest targets coming into Evolution, and he got
I was the biggest target, like hands down. And that's the point I was trying to make was like, you guys are the entire season. You guys have to watch out for people on like a surface level. But like every single person is not only giving me their entire focus, but giving me their like best shot. And like that to me was like why I was salty was if people voted for Hunter and they like deep down they felt like that move that he made to vote out Cody solidified his win and that's what they want to go with. I am 100% on board with that because Hunter did a good job working with people and using his social game to get to the end. The part that got to me was the reason they were voting for him was because they thought he played a more complete game, which is the farthest thing from the reality. Because if you just put, this is my favorite stat because sometimes people don't go to tribals because of different factors in the game or whatnot that really had no effect from them, and it's tribal councils survived.
Yeah,
and that I think is other than Legends. I think because Legends might have had just more people. The most I've ever survived, and I was getting votes for like almost like half of them. I had to go back and work with people that voted with me.
I think Blood vs. Water was a lot too because you guys lost a lot in the beginning. I don't know for sure how many it was.
Well, it was only the first 3 rounds because then you guys voted. Spoiler alert for those who haven't watched it. It was like JP, then Grant, then Jack the Med, and then Brienne and Kathy went at day 2 after the swap, and then you guys did the redemption and Brienne got back in.
No, this one literally was. I'm pretty sure.
You went to everyone but 2. You went to everyone but 2.
Yeah, okay, but like one thing I want to ask you before I get to my final like talking point for this is that what do you think of Matt's vote for Nate?
Like, I think it was completely salty. That's what it was. I think Matt being mad at me about the season is the most Matt thing to do. But the reality of the situation is this, Matt. If you had gotten me out, you would have expected me to vote for you. You went after me because you thought that you could take me down, and you didn't. So have the damn respect and give me the vote that I deserved. Because guess what? I tried working with you, and then you tried taking me out. You came back in the game. I talked to you, was going to work with you, until my little birdies came and told me, guess what?
Birdies.
You were trying to get me out again. What the hell do you expect me to do? When you come up with someone and say, hey, you should probably play your idol to try to flush it, that's not being in an alliance. Because you're trying to flush it. I'm not an idiot. I've done this once or twice. So that's why I was upset with the fact that you didn't vote for me, because it was out of complete lack of respect. Because if you had gotten me out, I would have voted for you.
The comment section is going to be on fire after that point. Okay, the last talking point I have is just the endgame run you kind of had where it's like, I feel like somewhat after Emma went out, you were kind of like, I said this in a different video, I don't know if you saw it, where you were essentially on the run kind of towards the endgame, where you kind of like were shoved towards the bottom, you had to make your little run towards the end where Cody gets out. Then you're out against CC, Chris C. Me and Devin called him CC last time, and I heard that he liked that. So, and then you won that little challenge. And, like, I flat out, me and Maddie were talking bits and pieces at the final tribal. I looked at Maddie, I'm like, Christian's winning. I'm like, there's no way Christian's not winning with the reputation he has, how, like, that big thing at the end, like, so I was kind of shocked, like, good for Hunter, like, but I was also, like, shocked, like, just, wow. So it was just.
Listen, like I said, he really did. Like I said at the very end of the season, he did deserve his win. Like I want to make that clear. I just don't like some of the answers and like things I've been hearing from the jury as to why they voted for him. I wish they would give Hunter. Like I feel like they're more so disrespecting me, and that's why they voted for him.
No way, are you just trying to say
respecting Hunter? And that's what I'm not liking and hearing because Hunter knows I'm one of the people that respects his game probably more than anybody, to be honest with you.
Yes. So, like you just kind of feel like most of Hunter's votes were anti-you votes, is what you're saying.
It felt like people were almost so mad at me for not letting them vote me out. Like, that's literally what it feels like. And it's not like I said anything bad to them on their way out the door. The only person that even had a remotely reason to be mad at me would be Emma. Because I blatantly said it, but guess what? She had been campaigning to get me out for like 3 rounds. It wasn't even like it was just a new thing. Like, she had been doing it. So she knew I was going out. I mean, I talked to her before Tribal. So at that point, that play wasn't even to get Emma out. She was going home. It was to get Hunter to flush his idol. Mm-hmm. He couldn't use it.
Yep.
He had to use it because I forced him. Like, that was the point of the play. And I explained that to her at the Tribal, and after the fact, she told me, I really respect your game, and I like looking back at it, I understand what you were saying. So kudos to her in hindsight, but hindsight's always 20/20 when you can see it. So I really do think it's half on the fact that people were anti me, and half obviously I didn't explain it well enough.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
relatable. I can relate from fans versus favorites. So
yeah, I mean, entertaining wise, yeah, like again, like I said a million times already in these videos, is Christian is like the most entertaining player every time he plays. I mean, it's not even really a question. But I did pick Hunter just because I wanted to give him a little props too. This has nothing to do with who played better. This is just entertaining wise. Yeah, I mean, like Hirsch said, he called a shot in pregame. Everybody does. It was just cool that he ended up winning. Was funny and was
a badass call.
Yeah, and he was hilarious in challenges. Yeah, he was being a little over the top cockiness, but we did like it for entertainment wise.
It was like a villain thing. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, and he won important challenges. He did, which was the ones he won surprised me a bit. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I mean,
he told me he was even surprised at some of that too. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. I'm just saying, like, he told me he was surprised about that too. That like he shocked himself, and it's like, I don't know if I want to say like a full on like growth that's a player moment, but it's like.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hunter had a chip on his shoulder because he's always felt disrespected in our Survivor. It all started with when first time he played Twist Manor. He barely beat one of the worst players ever. And then the second...
He should have still won in a landslide.
Oh, right. I think he should have won. No doubt. And then I know he's still pissed at probably that he didn't win One World. And the fact of the matter is he didn't play better than Bailey. And I know Bailey, there might be some altering reasons why she won, but from what I saw, he didn't play very well. And then
from what's in front of you, totally.
And then season 6, I mean, he played really good, and I gave him his props. Yeah, I was pissed at him, but I gave him his props, and he got out because of rock drought. Legends, Christian got his ass out right away. I mean, nothing to say. And like I will say that is true. I need to consider that more, Christian, where he did say multiple times throughout the games, yeah, I need to get Christian, out. And then all of a sudden he started saying, oh, maybe I could beat him. But he said that about Cody too. So, I mean, yeah, I ranked Hunter ahead of you just because he won. Yeah, I do believe the vote should have been a lot closer. It should have come down to maybe like one vote. Like, what was it? What was it? 6 people on jury, Richie?
It was 6-person jury.
It should have been like maybe 4-2 or even a tie. I do agree with that. But entertainment wise, I mean, you're right up there with Hunter. I just want to give someone else their props because, I mean, like I've said, come on. It's Christian watching. Yeah. It's fucking hilarious. And yeah, I do think, Christian, based on what you were saying before, how people are almost anti-voting you because they didn't want you there. I feel like people are like, I don't know if this is true, but just from my perspective and like seeing, I think people were pissed that you just kept making shit happen. And the only person that like admitted that I felt like that but respected you was Chris Cece. He said
Yeah.
that the round he played is when you made that crazy move earlier in the game, he's like, how the hell did you know to play that or whatever? It's like, bro, come on. And Chris is a great young player, and I do think a lot of people were just like, honestly, just sick of you just dominating. And it's like, come on here. Just give the respect. Get over it. Come on.
I think like the thing too with Chris, and he said something at the end of the last video, so I wanted to address it. I was gonna make sure I did. So when you bring him up,
in the reunion.
Yeah, in the reunion. And
6 people left. That's where I want to start. Christian Hunter played the idols. Turned out to be a good move for them. But was it a good move for Christian? I don't know, Christian. I'm going to come at you a little bit here. Keep in mind, I did vote for you. But you thinking that me and Nate, specifically me, would leave you guys one vote after I proved loyalty to you for Emma was so far from the truth. With 7 people left, I think I played a big part in convincing Emma, Colin, maybe not Hunter, but Emma and Colin specifically, to vote for you. While us 4 voted Colin. I told you not to play your idol. I didn't vote for you. I showed so much trust there. And then one conversation between me, Nate, and Emma made you think that we were going to vote you out. I don't know if you thought I was just easily convinced or what, but no, that was wrong. Once you played the idol, Cody mentioned voting for you. And while I didn't want to necessarily write your name down, I was like, yeah, why would I write down Emma's name if she's already going home? I wasn't going to write down Cody's name, so I told Emma at that tribal, I said, I did not write your name down, I voted for Christian. She knew that going to the jury, so hopefully that would have made her appreciate me a little more in a hypothetical tribal council, final tribal council. But then on to the last 5 vote. I think the pitting against each other of Hunter and Cody's a little overblown because they each came up to me and Nate, pled their case. Why not to vote for them? Because me and Nate, I mean, we had a little power there. We were 2 votes that were going together constantly. And we ultimately decided that, and it was mostly Nate, honestly, that Hunter was more vulnerable. He was willing to more go with whatever we wanted. And Cody was going to stick with you. Even though I don't think Cody wanted to vote me out. But, yeah, so.
And it was this. Chris was asking me why I didn't want to trust him and, like, go with him in a certain moment in the game. And essentially what I don't think he realizes is, like, yes, you did vote with me. You did earn my trust. But you also had shown that if it made sense in your game to vote me out, you would. And you had done that before. Now, you had moved forward with me and Cody for a little while. But the problem in the game was that Cody was very close with you guys. And I was, like, on the outside. Like, Cody was the connector. Like, that's part of it. Like, my alliance with Cody mattered so much. He also was great entertaining. That aside, the fact of the matter is when you have someone that's that close, that's my alliance, and then you have Emma on the other side, kind of like chirping in the air, trying to vote him out. Same thing with Hunter. Like, they're going to try to slice. Like, you weren't able to get to me. And that was my opinion. Like, I thought, like, at that moment in my head, I was going to turn on the challenges and you weren't going to be able to get to me, which meant Cody was at threat, all that kind of stuff. I needed to make sure, and I forced your hand to choose Cody and making the move against me or not. And you chose to make the move against Cody, which was me proving a point to him that you were willing to go after him. And that's why the next round, like, I really hurt the fact that I didn't have the idol. I almost bluffed it, but I wanted to stay true to my word and play it in that round with Emma. But that's the reason why that all happened. It really came down to, I understand why you were like, why didn't I trust you? it's because at the end of the day, it's not voting blocks. I know you've only played in voting block seasons before, but for me, it's real alliances, and you only can trust them. And Cody was my only true alliance in that game.
Yeah. So, Chris, hopefully you watch that part. We'll maybe tell you to or something, get your response. But yeah, that's it for most entertaining players for all. How many seasons we done? 14. Wow. Of every season
14.
every seasons we've done. Yeah, these are just whoever we thought was most entertaining. This isn't who we thought was the best player from every season. That's a different conversation. These are who we was, who found the most entertaining, was rooting for, things like that. We've had some great players, and hopefully find some new in the future. Any last remarks from Christian or Richie? Chime in right now.
Yeah, that first challenge was ridiculous.
Huh?
That first challenge that me and Richie and Hunter were competing in. Oh my gosh.
Dude,
Also,
I think I still have sand in my red shoes from that. I think I still have sand in that from that day.
yeah, literally also like Hunter.
I loved it.
Hunter's interviews from this season is probably up there in like top 5 all time.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of
I'll give
funny
them that. They were good.
Like it definitely had a little bit of a Jake and Legends feel to some of them, just with a little less liquor.
Anything you want to add, Richie?
I mean, hopefully we'll keep doing some videos like this the next couple months. People watching, if you want to play, come down, fucking play, hit us up. It's fun. Come on, like play.
Yeah, try to get me out. I'm just kidding. I'm not playing again.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but no, like seriously, it's such a fun time. Like regardless of whatever happens, like you meet new people, you get new friends, you get to do a lot of fun shit that you don't get to really do almost anywhere else. So like, it's fun. Come down, try it out. You can meet some of us too. Like we're happy to meet you guys. So
Yeah, definitely. Well, Rich Dog, thank you. Devin, thank you for having me back on the Idol Identifiers pod. It's always a good time. Always good to get a little analysis in there too.
Hell yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Give us a like, subscribe to us here on YouTube, and if you want updates on stuff we do and everything, check out our Instagram, idol.identifiers. Don't forget where we started with some Survivor Simulators during COVID. It's been a long journey. Almost 4 years. So thanks, guys. We'll see you soon, probably with another video.
bye.